Hey guys, welcome to another New World video. In today's video I want to talk about a bug that has been around for a while, but lately seems to have been cropping up a lot more. There are a few reasons for this. For one, the recent merges. These changed the balance of power and communities for a lot of players, which led to them changing factions. Another big one is people were awarded in a patch a few weeks ago a faction timer reset, so they could freely change factions to help with the balance after the merges. And honestly, a lot of friend groups have seen a percentage of people quit, and thus have forced people to make new friends, create new companies, and in turn, change factions. Some people have regretted their change, others miscommunicated, and are awaiting timers to change back. This is where the trouble comes into play. Also, for those already suffering with this issue, I wanted to share some information that may be a light at the end of the tunnel. So what is it exactly that I'm talking about? Well, there exists a bug at the moment where if you choose to change factions, then later you decide you made a mistake or for whatever reason, you change back to a faction that you were in the past a member of, you will basically break your character. Because in New World, the game records your character progress, and when you change factions, your character reputation progress in that faction is reset. So, if you rejoin a faction that you were already a member of, you will be unable to complete the trials associated with the faction to progress in reputation. This is because, well, you had done them before, so the game will not offer them to you again. This is a huge issue, because this then blocks you from purchasing anything above rank 1. Chisels, runes of holding, anything. You can't farm faction tokens above rank 1 cap, nothing. Which is being made a lot worse for people with the mutations coming, the expertise system changes, and in terms of simply making gold. This leaves them in the unfortunate position of losing the potential for crafting their own expedition keys, using their own cooldowns, and always having to buy admittance from others. At this time, there are entire companies in some cases who all faction change together, suffering from the issue which has completely blocked them from progression in a lot of endgame content they would otherwise be doing. This of course is causing frustration, anger, boredom, and eventually sadly people quitting the game. This was first reported to me around 25 days ago or so, but it was rare, so I didn't really pay it much attention, an outlier that I did not hear that much about. But as time passed, it has snowballed, and the voices of a few people has turned into a chorus of people who are all stuck with this issue, which is why I wanted to make this video. After now hearing so many stories about this, I wanted to post a sort of PSA to let people know this exists, and if you plan to faction change to a faction where you were once already in, don't. At least not yet. Also talk about this, let everyone know, make it part of the narrative so people do not make this mistake and ruin their progression, and really ruin the game for them. This bug, or oversight, or whatever you want to call it, in my opinion is not getting nearly enough attention. I see everyone complaining about wanting weapon swapping fixed, desync fixed, and yes, I agree these are big issues. But this is completely game breaking to anyone who changes factions in this manner, and not enough of us are highlighting it or talking about it. We need this to be one of the main focuses of AGS before we lose more people simply because their characters are unplayable in their current state. Let's look at some of these posts just to see how bad the situation has become over time and the frustration the community is experiencing. As you can see, these complaints go back, way back, to 21 days, where this guy first posted his encounter with it. And then as you can see, there was many people, and it started increasing as time passed, more and more people. A dev responded 16 days ago, "Hey there, I was unaware this was happening, and agree it doesn't sound right. I would think that when you switch back, it should restart the entire quest line so you can gain rep again. I've passed this along to the quest team." Then you get more people posting that they are stuck with this issue. And then the same day, yes, this wouldn't be faction specific. It could be any faction you return to based on the way this bug is described. I've asked the world and quest teams to investigate. That was 16 days ago. Then you get more people complaining, and you see a lot of posts like this one. Anyway, so this continues to go on for days and days without any dev response. So as you can see, this is an issue that has been going on far too long to be acceptable. However, I also wanted to let those people know who are suffering from this that yesterday there was a post on the forums by a New World developer finally after a long silence. So what they had to say was, confirmed with the team working on this that they are actively working on the fix. Unfortunately, the fix touches on a lot of important files, and we have to be careful so that you end up in a state where you can progress without collateral damage from the touched files. Since I don't have first-hand work on the fix, I asked one of the team members working on this as to what you can expect with the changes once it has gone through the validation testing and is ready for release. And this is what that team member had to say on their behalf. We are fixing the bug so players can continue to progress. Right now, most players should be able to progress on faction missions and get to rank 3. When we push the fix, they'll be able to do the mission they were blocked on and get all the way to rank 5. This situation made us reconsider the design on faction reputation when switching back to a former faction, and in the future, when you switch factions, we will not remove rank. This work is being completed and will be released simultaneously. As far as timing, it's not ready for this update this week, but we are aiming to get this out to you soon. I'm glad to see that finally, after so many weeks of people suffering from this issue, there is a fix potentially on the way, or at least the promise of one. According to this post, they are wanting to get it out soon, and I would think they would want it out before January patch goes live, because if they release the January patch with all the new mutations and stuff, and they have not fixed this, there's going to be chaos. So many are suffering from this issue now, introducing new exciting content and better gear, with it requiring chisels and stuff from the faction shop, and of course making those chisels bind on equip, sellable on the market, and a potential gold source, while still having so many people blocked from getting them, will be a big issue. Now, I want it to be clear, I'm not making this video to shit on New World or even AGS. I will say again, as I have in the past, I love this game. My only goal in making this video was to get this information out to the community, to prevent anyone else from accidentally bricking their character because of this, and also to let people know, who are maybe already in the boat, that AGS has finally responded to this issue after weeks of silence, and a fix is on the way. So guys, please be careful. Do not change your faction to a faction you were already a member of in the past. If anyone you know is planning to change factions, warn them about this bug so they know and do not accidentally end up in this bad situation. Let's hope this fix happens in the next couple weeks, because it is simply unacceptable to be left in this state. And I also hope some form of compensation is paid to these players who have been stuck in this state for 21 plus days, as they have been completely cut off from doing a lot of the things the rest of us take for granted. Okay guys, that's all. I don't want to waste any more of your time on this kind of stuff. I just really wanted people to be aware that this was going on. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.